Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mark Pires, Renaissance Man.
Okay, people, gather round. The Mark Pires Renaissance Man show. Is he still alive? Wait, hold on, I'm not done. Trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2. Is he still alive?
He is Dr. Evil.
Why is he still alive, and why did you answer when I was asking number 2? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2!
A plan is in the works, Dr. Evil.
This is wonderful news, number 2. Over 1,000 days in a row, we've managed to keep the world from knowing he exists.
Dr. Evil, he's still going and doesn't care.
Well, we need to find another way to stop the show. He's making me look bad, you know? Yeah, no. Perhaps we can make him look like racist or something?
That may work, Dr. Evil.
Perhaps we can get the media to cancel him?
This is your best idea yet, Dr. Evil.
Okay, number 2. Get me Dr. Facce.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Facce is on the evil monitor.
Thank you, number 2. Dr. Facce.
Dr. Evil. It's Dr. Facce.
Well, Dr. Facce. It looks like the gig is up. The Renaissance Man show knows all about you.
Yeah, look, they created a character after me. We gotta squash him like the friggin' mouse that he is. He calls me a weasel, Fauci. I'm not a weasel, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm Dr. Facce, okay? Don't call me Dr. Weasel Fauci, okay? Because that's anecdotal.
Anecdotal Fauci. That's what they're always making fun of you about. That you're always anecdotal.
No, I know. Like I said, that it is, everything's anecdotal.
Excellent. Dr. Facce, initiate the final plan.
They never even asked you. Welcome, family and friends, to the Mark Pires Renaissance Man Show. We are live every single day of the year for unscripted live comedy, songwriting in the moment, and total inspiration. So join us on a tour of some of the accomplishments and content created in the first 1,000 days and counting of Renaissance Man. So far in 2021, 12 albums and 156 songs have been released into the world. But we're not even close to done yet, fam. My plan is to put an album out every month for the rest of my days, as well as show up for you every single night. I've created 3 feature films this year: Batmark vs. Supermark, Three's Company the Breakup Artist, and A Christmas Story. Within these comedies, many original characters have surfaced. You know, we have Batmark, Dick Facce, which he doesn't look like this really, but that's Facce. And then of course Supermark, who's pretty freaking super if you ask me, just saying. Hammerlin Jamison's a bit of a drunkard, and he tried to get the role of Supermark. It didn't go well. He does all right at a side gig of, newscaster situation. But you can see in that top photo, he's not doing too well these days. Anyway. Dr. Wayne Doppler, tallest man alive, 8'9", Guinness, and he's also in the Batmark and Supermark movie. And Dr. Weasel Fauci, if you don't know who he is, wear 5,647 masks, especially if you're going to Mars. Stuck on Mars. I will be making a movie out of that. Sid 45, make sure you don't get rupees. Sid has rupees literally pouring out of his igloo. Francesco Vigilughi. Look, if you ever need a cartographer, there's just one guy. The Curious Case of Ben Affleck Head. It's about a guy with a head so large he could literally change the poles. Oh, Dystopia 2021. If you missed that, that's the world we're living in today. If you haven't seen it, I did a couple episodes on it. BB Poo Poo. Don't forget we did 3 cryptos this year. BB Poo Poo, Pee Pee Poo Poo, and of course, Shibbity Bibbity Boo. But it almost was wrecked because of the original Shick Shiggity Boo Boo. Well, look, people are still on the fence, Things were pretty bad for BB Poo Poo at the beginning. And of course, we have many episodes of Spider-Mark, Peter Marker. If you didn't know, check it out. Mark Pires of the Caribbean. That was a hilarious movie. And then if you can't dance, you just, watch this episode. There's 2 of them. Really good stuff. And did you watch Match Game? I did it. And Pressure Luck in it. We did a little Pressure Luck style too, Peter DeMarkin. And if you didn't see Waterworld 2027, I'm the last one left because of the Bugaboo. We did many other homages to movies and TV shows and Facce Mulder. Sonny, you still got the cough? There are over 100 insane scenes with Dick Facce. And then, of course, I saved the world. Saved all the animals and stuff, too. Zucker Chooch, Donald Trump Show. Make sure you check that out. And we did a couple of raps over the last year. You may not want to miss those. Trump, Biden, and Christopher Walken rapping? Yeah. Back to the Future, Mark. Guys, the next movie that's coming out, Back to the Future, Mark. You may not remember some of the characters that I was in the past, so let's just go over it in real time. Mark says, I did it. 10 Commandments. Mark Stradamus, telling the future, of course. Oh, and the artwork I created as Leo Marco da Vinci. The Mona Lisa, when I got that freaking red, like murdering a family. That was what, O.J. Simpson of the 1600s. Hey, Michelangelo, after you finish that, sculpture, you think you could paint this ceiling? Got it. Circumnavigating the globe is Mark Jellin. Markola Tesla? If I didn't do my time here as Markola, you guys would have nothing when it comes to electricity. I still can't believe it. I'm sitting there, I'm writing the Fur Elise, right? I'm in the middle of it. And they're scratching it out and they're writing freaking that hack Beethoven's name on it, right? Don't even get me started on what they did when I was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Doing the fifth and taking all that work. And then, like modern days, when I'm doing Mark and M, doing the 8 Mile situation. I'm like, Mark and M's the man now, but what I paved the way is the Marktorious B.I.G. as well. When I was Mark Claude Van Damme, I remember that one. Oh, Mark Schwarzenegger? You didn't know I was Mark Schwarzenegger? Yeah, that was funny when I worked next to DeVito. The Emancipation Marklamation of 1863. I did my time as Abraham Mark Lincoln. You guys didn't know I was Abraham Mark? You guys were all Mark Della. That's why this is all part of the Mark Della effect. Everybody's like, Mandela, man. No, it's Mark Della. Get with it. And then the time I was Mark Guyver, remember, you give me a friggin' toothpick and some tooth floss and we're off. I'm building a bomb. So that's just a good overview of a lot of the shows, not all of them. We have tons of new gear up on the website, guys, markpires.com. In there you can pick up your gear, you can pick up a signed CD, and also don't forget about beatseat.rocks, my invention that I patented. This is her sitting on it. And this is a little demo I made. Welcome to BeatSeat.rocks. My name is Mark Pires, and I'm the inventor of the Beat Seat. Today I'm going to share all of the details of the Beat Seat. It's the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. It's got 4 playable panels, omnitone. Everywhere you hit it sounds different. It's the first drum you could sit completely upright and play with your hands and feet at the same time. It's the Beat Seat. It's the only drum that you could play with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. Anything you'd play in a drum kit, you could play on this, because you're playing with your entire body, but you're sitting upright. Your feet do this. So that's the Beat Seat, the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands, with your feet at the same time. It has unlimited tones. There's so much to explore. I hope to build one for you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. And of course, fam, I can't leave you without a little bit of motivation. So take these quotes with you as we get ready to rock for one more night. And yes, we will be doing it again tomorrow. So, until I see you in just a moment, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man.
when the wind starts blowing, I'm going to find a way. Some night when the world stops hating, we're going to find a way.
Ticket tickets are available at the box office. Thanks for helping us keep the theater clean. As you exit.
Don't know what I just did. I think I shut everything off. Is it off? I think so, because I don't hear it. We'll just roll in. Of course, let's just see what's going on over here. Fam and friends. I did something there that messed everything up. Now this isn't working. Anyway, let's see if this works. No, nothing's working now. Whatever I did, it jostled the audio to the system, and now we've got nothing. I got an idea, though. I just don't know if it's going to work. Oh, that's something. Fam and friends, it is officially Christmas. And, yeah, what did we do here? I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to mess everything up, but we're going to give it a shot. Ready? I'm shutting this off and turning it back on. I think. We'll see if it connected with the other detail as well. Let's check. No, I don't know what happened. No, it's not working. Now, this is the other test. If it's this, then it's OBS, and then we have an issue. If we were going to play anything, we're playing it online. But anyway, we're in the middle of the outro trying to get the phone going so we can get TikTok on with us. And of course, I knocked the phone over and it hit everything. And I don't know what it hit, but all of a sudden, nothing's working. So that means that there's a definite issue on my end. And look, sometimes you're doing it and you get it wrong, like right now. This isn't the way you wanted a Christmas show to start. You're doing it, like doing a switcheroo. I don't even have this. Where's my Zabrowsk? Oh, I know you're there. I mean, like, where is your woo-woo? We're doing it. I just need a little bit of love here. I'm trying to get my stupid camera situation up,
I was walking.
There we go. We're going to do it. We're just going to bring him in. Come on.
Another way to ease my mind and help my living.
Do not touch another thing, sir. Do not touch another thing at all, because it may be working. I'm not sure if it's working, but we're trying. We're good. So, fam and friends, we're here again. Day 1090 in a row of the Renaissance Man Show. And look, we're doing it. We had a 10-hour stream earlier today with the movie that we created for the show. Remember, we're here to amplify your current state, connect, and remember that it's Christmas, but more importantly, that we do this every single day of the year. We need to connect. We need to lift ourselves up. It's a crazy, dark world we're living in right now. But how was Christmas? Did you have a great Christmas? Did you get anything really cool? Like, what are we talking about over here? No, Zabrowsk. I know you told me you were going to bring me the Grammy to look at as a Christmas gift.
Mark, look at my Grammy.
You didn't bring the freaking Grammy in, And I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm switching this out. We're not doing art tonight. No, we're just doing a daily life situation. This is Christmas situation here, Renaissance man style. So yeah, today we had the movie play, I want to say 6, maybe 7 times. Because it was a 10-hour and 20-minute stream. And it's an hour and 37 minutes. So someone could do the math on that. I'd say it's 6 times, probably 5 or 6 times straight. I wanted to come back like after the first family gathering, come over here and pop on Three's Company or Supermarket and let that roll. But we just didn't come back until close to 10 o'clock. So I got on the air and it was like 9 hours and 50 minutes. I'm like, this is crazy. We wanted to do a 10-hour stream for day 1,000 in a row. I couldn't handle it. I tried. It was just too much. We did 8 hours, 37 minutes on day 1,000 in a row. And that was quite a feat. I mean, it was crazy late. If I had started when I originally planned, which is about 2 p.m. that day, we would have gotten our 10 hours in. But we did 10 hours today. The stream started at 12:15 roughly, and it ended at 10:30. I did a 20-minute rant at the end there you may want to watch. You know, when you're doing it and you're ranting, Merry Christmas style, bang, biggity boo, right? People take notice. TikTok fam and friends, how you doing? I want to say hi to each and every one of you. Please head over to YouTube. You can hit the link. It's in the link tree. You'll see what this green screen is doing. I'm not sure what we're up to tonight. We're going to play a couple Christmas songs. We're going to do a little bit of the rant-a-roo because it's Christmas. So if you head over to YouTube and join us, at least you could subscribe to the show, which has been live for 1,090 days in a row. This is the ultimate positivity platform. We write songs live here. We connect and we lift each other out of the darkness and into the light. Doesn't that sound pretty good? And the fact that it's every day of the year is something I think that's even better than good. So join us. It's about 10 p.m. currently, but I got to get on earlier in the new year. It's going to be a shorter show because we have to shake some stuff up here. Anyway, Zabrosk, you're up, dude. We need your... Thank you, Christmas woohoo. Right? I got a Christmas woohoo. What did you get?
I'm gonna buy my gift. I opened it up.
I got a gift too. It's called Matt Zabrowski, the woohoo master. You didn't get a woohoo from Zabrosk? Look, I gotta tell you, when you got Matt Zabrowski sitting next to you and he's dropping woohoos, that's the Christmas gift that keeps on giving. You know, you're like, oh, I'm at home. I'm having my hot cocoa marshmallow situation. Zabrosk drops a woohoo. The marshmallows melt. It was before it was hot cocoa. It was just cocoa. He's like, you had to put it in the microwave to heat it up. No, you didn't need to do that. You were in the presence of Matt Zabrosk. When he dropped his woohoo, it not only was the hot cocoa then literally boiling over, marshmallows melted into the cup. When you got a Zabroski, he's like, look, Grammy winner. You know, and you're doing it Grammy winner style, and you notice it, and you see it. You just freaking do it. You know what I mean? Zabrosk. Look, I took advantage of signing Zabroski to a 1-year contract. It's coming up. You know, we've been talking about seeing if we could, extend it. Give me another year, Zabrosk. We're doing a woohoo on the daily. I got family members, Renaissance Man Show. They show up just for the woohoo. They're not coming for the music. They're not coming for the original live comedy in the moment, the inspirational moments and seconds that happen literally throughout. They just want the freaking woohoo. They're like, I got it. I got to go now. That's good. I'm cool with it. Look, you do the woohoo. Go back into your day and you're living up here now. I get it. So anyway, guys, Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. We are doing this again, day 1,090 in a row. This is our opportunity to connect. We are 10 days away from the 1,100th day in a row of this show. We are finishing up year 3 in a row of every single day for 2+ hours. I had a guy once I met, and he said, wait, you're live every day of the year? I said, yeah, at the time it was like 600 and something days. So yeah, I've been live for 2 years. He goes, that's cool. He said, I love this show, but it's only on Monday through Friday, and I happen to always be traveling on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm pissed because every time I'm traveling, I want to be listening to they're not live. I said, well, my show's live. Tune in. What started as whatever it started as has become a variety show on a daily basis that is surrounded and centered on positivity. It's a show that drives towards the moment and tries to find something within that moment. I find and I believe that most people that are creators, most people that are on doing some sort of show or trying to do a live, they're speaking about something. They're adding color to some item, some news detail, some sort of negative detail mostly is what we're getting into in this news, But it's not the moment taking place. It's conversation about a topic you've heard of. It's a conversation about some salacious topic you've heard of. But it's not the moment taking place. The moment taking place is the only thing I care about anymore. I try to find content that I can enjoy. It's hard for me to do that. because what we do here is take this moment and create constantly. On December 31st, 2021, I will be premiering my fourth and final feature film of 2021. It's a crypto comedy called BB Poo Poo, the Crypto of 22. You got to check it out. All right. But look, here's the deal. We just did our feature film for a Christmas movie last night. Okay. We officially had Supermark. I want to say, here's the crazy thing. Supermark and Batmark was filmed in March. I didn't release that film until June, guys. It took me a month and a half to edit Batmark versus Supermark. Do you know how hard that was? That was 30 or 40 scenes edited into an hour and 55 or hour and 37 minute film. Okay. And Batman, I'm playing Batmark. I'm Supermark. I'm dressed up as these characters. I got Dick Facce. I'm on the screen as Dick Facce, Supermark, and Batmark all at the same time. That was so hard to film. We just did Wayne Doppler and myself on the screen at the same time. And that's me both ways. Oh, look, when I say I'm Supermark, Batmark, and me at the same, it's three of me on the screen on a green screen. And we're trying to make it work with all the stuff I said. We talked about this, we talked about that. I have to remember while we're going the questions I asked, the timing, so I can answer. It's a lot to remember in the moment since there is no script. We're creating it live. So I literally do it in one clip. And then the very next clip, I have to remember what I just did and then add that other character on the green screen. And then I remember two things, and I'm adding a third character. It's crazy. That one was the hardest film to date, okay? Second film was Breeze. It took me no time. We, in 5 days, filmed Three's Company, The Breakup Artist. 6 days if you want to consider that the very last scene is my game show host situation where I'm doing Press Your Luck, and then Match Game where I'm playing, Peter DeMarkin and Gene Rayburn, and doing the two characters for those two shows. And that's the last scene of the movie. So really it was 6 days when we shot Three's Company. We did the Christmas film in 3 days. It took me 5 days by the time I edited it down, but it took us 3 days to film it. And I didn't intend to do a movie. You guys know this. Everybody who's here that's a fan of this show knows I started it as just to do a Christmas scene. I wanted a Christmas little mini movie for the show. So we did the first one, which was 17 minutes. The second one was 33 minutes, and it was freaking hilarious. It's the last scene of the movie prior to going with Facce. So I'm in that cabin in Colorado. That one of the best because it's Merry Christmas, and it's on the scene. You see Merry Christmas. It's like hilarious, and so that was 33 minutes. The next thing we did was an interview with Santa Claus and Doppler. Those are 4 scenes that were done for the movie. And then the last thing I had to do was a tie-in, so we did that, and the movie was thrown together. And it was, I added my new song, Santa's on the Run. And I thought it was perfect to put one of my new Christmas songs into the movie. So throughout the movie, you hear Santa's on the Run, which is such a cool song. I love that song. And it's on TikTok, guys. If you want to, still Christmas, you want to put out a Christmas little TikTok right now, just type in the words, Santa's on the Run. Look for Mark Pires. Just listen to it for a few seconds. And then share it. Put it out there. It's a fun song. It's a jam tune. We're going to probably put it on in a minute here. Anyhow, just to share how this has all gone down. Throughout this entire journey, I started doing comedy, bringing comedy into my show at day 340, 350. At a certain point, my friend Luke, who's also a creator, Luke Mindpower is my brother, and he goes, Mark, when are you going to start doing your impressions? And I said, I can't. It's not Real Talk. At the time, it was Mark Pires' Real Talk. He goes, what are you talking about? He goes, that's you. And I said, no, but Real Talk is talking about positivity. It's inspiring people to find the greatest version of themselves. And he goes, yeah, but you is also your impressions. And the second time I heard that was my father. My father said, when are you going to start doing Scarface and Christopher Walken and Al Pacino and all the Jack Nicholson and all these impressions that you do, that you've been doing for your whole life very well? And I said, it's not Real Talk. Well, we changed the name to Renaissance Man, 8 months ago. But I started while it was still Real Talk, going into the comedy aspect of things. Live songwriting, comedy, and inspiration. 3 things all at once. I just don't know what it's going to be. There's no script. So we get into it, and before you know it, I'm writing songs every day on the beat seat. By the way, I also invented the first drum for all musicians. It's called the beat seat. Go to beatseat.rocks if you want to check that out. That's in my bio as well in the link tree. And the beat seat is the first drum. You could sit upright, play your guitar. I'm going to show you this tune if you miss. I'm kicking it with my feet. Also the perfect seat, the Beat Seat. BeatSeat.rocks, I patented it, I invented it, and it was the 2019 Summer NAMM Editor's Choice winner. If anybody knows what NAMM is the biggest music conference in the world. Every year they get together, and every music company gets Gibson guitars, Martin guitars, Marshall. Everybody who's anybody goes and they showcase their new instruments to the world. They pick editor's choice of the best products at NAMM. My instrument that I invented is selected editor's choice in 2019. It's massive. Her, H.E.R, has a Beat Seat. If you go to beatseat.rocks, you will see her sitting on the Beat Seat. I built that Beat Seat for her. My 2 hands, I build these Beat Seats for you guys. This is the Renaissance Man show. There's a reason. This is everything at once. And I think that's what's necessary in 2021 because there's nothing like it. What we have right now is contrived. What we have right now is diluted by evil, diluted by negativity, and it doesn't allow people to breathe and find this moment and enjoy it. And we've been doing that, and we're going to continue to do that. I will be here every day this heartbeats. I just don't know if it's going to be for 2 hours going forward, because if we can't break through the chain, the wall, big tech wall, I gotta quit this impression people have that I am making money for this, because I don't make money for this. This is a hobby. This show is a hobby. I'm a real estate agent. That's how I need to make money. So if the impression is that, oh, this guy's some successful talk show host, he's got some show. No, I'm a talk show. I'm a variety show host. I show up here every day for a world that's dying. I don't make a penny for it, just the kind donations that have come through from family members. But I do this because the world needs it. I'm doing it for the goodness of humanity. If in the 3 years that I've been here it had turned into more, I could continue on the way it's been going. I can't do it, though. It's just not going to be possible. That impression that I'm making a living at this is hurting me. And I can't do that anymore. And the reality is it shouldn't. It doesn't affect anything. I work my tail off at real estate during the day. But you need to get business. You need to get new clients. You need to get new business. You need to get new buyers, new sellers. That doesn't happen if they all think you're some successful talk show host, or they assume you make a living at being a variety show host on YouTube. That can't happen. So, something's got to shift in order to make it happen. Something's got to shift in order to create that reality. Because obviously 2 hours a day isn't doing it. And 3 hours a day, it didn't. We tried that. We tried 4 hours, tried 5 hours a day. Those don't do it. So although I'd love to do it, I love creating, I love making new stuff. If it's affecting, my family and everything else, and again, my concern is that it will. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that it will. I'm already seeing people like, oh, you're still selling. What? Excuse me? Yeah, all I do is sell real estate. That's how I make a living. All day long, I take phone calls, I'm showing properties, and I require new clients, new listings in order to continue living. My show is here for the world. The world obviously doesn't either know that they need it, or it's just being kept from the world specifically because they need it, which I elect to believe it's number 2 and not number 1. But at the same time, there have been plenty of people that have come across the show, over 7,000, and they still don't come back every night, and they know I'm here, or at least they've heard. I've said them when they found me the first time. So maybe it's too much. Maybe it's too much content, too many albums, 156 songs in 1 year. 3 feature films, and then how many comedies? Every day I put a new feature, like little mini film for 30 minutes, 25 minutes up. I don't know if the world can handle that. It's too much for a world that has like a 30-second attention span. Someone said to me once, they're like, dude, you're 30 years too late. You're 30 years too late. If this was in the 60s, if this was in the 70s, if this was in the 80s or even the freaking 90s, people would be like, yeah, we need this. But now we live in a world where everybody's got a channel, everybody's streaming. Nobody will ever find what we're doing here because it's polluted. Everything is polluted by the negativity. They give the negativity the attention, and anything positive takes away from their negativity agenda, and you just won't see it. You guys are very, very fortunate that Wages shared you with me. Vice versa, shared me with you. Because you would never have found the show. If Sig Sauer didn't come along and share and start spreading the word and saying, I got help from this show, I'm going to make sure others find it, we wouldn't have 7,000 subs and I'd still have the content. I would still have done all the content. It would have just been to 0 people like it was for a few hundred days. But you know what? This is for me, it's Christmas. I have to think about what I am thankful for and what I have been gifted with. And what I'm gifted with is a family that I've gotten to today. A family that I'm so thankful for because, first of all, I love my children more than anything in this world, but then my wife, who allows me to do this. Without that, just a side note, I remember dating a girl when I was younger who was so controlled. This would not have worked.
I need attention.
Like weird, not her. No, my wife knows that this is helping people and also that it helps me. So it's good that this is able to occur. There's so many things that would have had to take place for this to be a thing. Marrying the right person, Donald Trump being the president and creating such a divide, not personally creating the divide, but the media creating the divide based on Trump being the president. The anger that I felt on December 31st, 2018 from the world coming in on me as an empath, I went live that day. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to tell people, remind people, look, I'm a real estate agent during the day. Actually, I didn't have the show yet, but I was like, I'm a real estate agent. This is what I do, guys. If I went to high school with you, I work in the town that I went to high school with. I sell real estate there. I live in the same area I grew up. Live where my wife grew up. It's like a hometown situation, you know what I mean? It wasn't always here, but this is where I went to high school. I'm in the area. I work in the town that I went to high school with. So theoretically, all the people I grew up with, kids I went to school with, when they go to buy a home in the town in Connecticut or in New York, they should say to themselves, I could either work with my mother's friends who are 75 and all retired, doing very well. Their stock market portfolio is probably on fire. Or they can consider working with the guy they went to high school with, who's got 3 kids and working his tail off. Before I did my show here, 1,090 days in a row, I don't think it was a streak, but I basically worked many of a 10-year cycle years fully, every single day of the year. I think there were 2 or 3 years where I took vacations with my wife and the kids. There were years where they went to see my in-laws, and I kept working. And I was a freaking machine for this family, showing up every day in my suit. And I remember I used to joke, I'd say I work 358 days a year, because the years I did take a vacation, it would be 7 days, but I don't take weekends off. I don't take days off. I work every day. Saturday and Sunday, when I come on and I do a show here, I worked earlier in the day as a realtor. Every Sunday when I show up here with you guys and I do a show here at 10 o'clock at night, I worked as a realtor that day. Went to my in-laws' house, had dinner, came home, and did a show. So every day of the year I'm here with you, I worked a full real estate day before it. Keep that in mind. This is for the world. This isn't for my wallet. It's never been about that, and it's never been that. It is about the world dying and an opportunity. We need an outlet for it. We need people to connect to something that's not negative. So I show up. And that's what we do. That's what we've done. That's what I've put my head down and I went and I just kept writing. Whatever comes out. Maybe bad, I don't know. I don't stop to think about it. I literally create it, drop it, and go to the next one. My son was saying to me today, he goes, you should, it's like the critiques come from everywhere, you know. He's like, Daddy, I love your music. He's like, but you should do the stuff like your old stuff where, you know, you could, because he's making the point that if I go play shows, I won't be able to play any of the stuff you guys like, any of the stuff on the albums. Because I play them once. I released 156 songs this year, and every single one of them, I have no idea what I played or wrote. If I was to play a concert tomorrow, and 30 people were like, here, we sent you the playlist. Of the 156 songs, Mark, we want you to play these 15 songs. I'd have to go back through every single one of those songs, listen, go with my guitar, and figure out what I did, take a pen out and write down every lyric, and then sit there and work on it for a few days in order to memorize those lyrics for any song you choose. Everything has happened in the moment here. 156 powerful moments, but I can't go back to them now and regurgitate that information because it happened live. There was no script. There was no story. There was no From Sea to Shining Sea, an apocalypse song. I don't remember what I said on that now. It happened in the moment. When I connect to a topic in the moment and start just envisioning where it should and go, where it goes, I can't get back to that. I can only get back to it when I listen to it again. And that's why when sometimes people will be like, oh, you're playing clips? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to relive those moments because I can never do it again with the guitar in my hand unless I spend the time. That's why when I come out here today, it's to create a new one. If I spend the time worrying about remembering all the ones I created this year so I can come out here and play them again. Hey guys, remember From Sea to Shining Sea? And I'm going right into it. Yeah, it'd be great. I got 140 of those I don't play for you. I've got 140 songs I wrote before I started improvising songs live in the moment. I never play any of those songs for you, and they're all great. I wrote them. You guys like the words that come out of my mouth in the moment? Think about me with a pen. I wrote 140 songs with a pen. And there's some freaking ridiculous society moments there too. But I don't go backwards. I want to create something new for you on the daily. I want to bring something new to the world. And even if I look down and nobody's there, I'm releasing it. But I have to say, I was looking at someone, like I saw some dude, and not that again, I'm like, it is what it is. But someone had like, let's call it like 1.5 million subs. It's like, oh wow. And then I look, they have like 53 videos. I'm like, 53 videos and 1.5 million subs. I was like, that's gotta be a formula. I got 1,790 videos. Live shows every single day. Videos dropped every day. Live songwriting. 156 songs. There's over 1,700 videos. We're almost at 1,800 videos. It's clearly way too much. Right? Now, here's the craziest part about all of this. I've challenged you guys. I still want to see if someone can find this. Go back, please. Spend some time because nobody's seen any of these things. Go back and watch stuff. And please find me something that's crappy. Find me something that's terrible. I just want to know what was bad that I put out. I don't think I put anything, because everything happened in the moment, so it's not bad. It may not be like your cup of tea. It may not be the best bit, but everything's got something to it. And there's almost 1,800 pieces of something to it. And that's powerful, but only if you can get to the content, only if you actually look at it and view it. Now, it's crazy. Even me, I'll go back and I'll see something like Zabrowski gets whatever. And I got these titles that only people who know the show would get. And even then, you're like, oh, okay, it doesn't really tell a story. Those bits are all hilarious. You can go back and click any Zabrowski bit, any Joanne bit, but the titles never explain that this is some live, free-flowing brain going here. We don't know where it's going. It's going somewhere, though. It can't be a topic about one thing. This is a freaking wild comedic rant here. It happens live. I know nobody knows what's going to happen. I don't know what the hell I'm going to say. But that's the only way it makes sense. This is like, so I don't know. Little Christmas rant, just realizing a lot of what it is to be thankful for, and what I'm happy about is the creations that have come out of this show over the last year, whether it's just the small group of us or if anybody ever actually gets a chance to see it. I'm proud of the work that was accomplished here on this show. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more than I think. I don't know. I mean, guys, I think if I do, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it at this point because now I'm having a little bit different thought about it. But if I do that 13th album of the year, the instrumental album, that would be 169 songs written and released in 1 year. I had to just check just to see like how many songs did like the Beatles put out, you know? And the Beatles, somebody tell me how many years they were out. I think I thought it was something like 10 years. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody tell me. But the entire catalog of the Beatles, however many years it was 4 people, really 3, writing everything. And they wrote 183 songs. 3 people. I think George Harrison wrote like My Guitar Gently Weeps, and Bono wrote like Yellow Submarine. Everything else was written by McCartney and Lennon. And I'm not saying my songs are as good as the Beatles at all. I'm not. I'm just saying the concept here is that in 1 year, for one person to write 14 songs less than the Beatles, not write, release. I've written 300-400 songs this year. You can go back through my shows and pull stuff I'd never released. I forgot about it, or it's still on my phone. There's at least 18 to 20 songs on my phone that have not been released yet. I did them all here. They're great. There's crazy live looping moments that have just not been edited. I just did a feature film, working on another feature film. I got another album to do, instrumental album if I do that. So I haven't had a chance. I'm all alone doing this, and this is a hobby. So again, I'm creating as if this is how I make a living, and it's stupid, you know, because that time needs to be spent on making a living. So I have to be realistic about 2022, you know, and it's a tough thing to do too, because I don't like changing anything about this show. I don't. I'd like to just do it exactly the way I do it every day. You know? But you can't control what the world does truly want. Or can't control where they shift the eyes. That's really the more important. I mean, you could. I could just bail on my concept here for like 3 weeks and just start like pounding the pavement as some freaking, you know, like propaganda machine. Just out here pitching this information that they want you to say, you know? Oh, I voted for him. I'm so excited. I think he's doing a great job. And you go and you take that angle. Couple billion subs. We went billion. First one to go billion. Oh, what did he do? Oh, he started saying lies. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Red. I mean, honestly, I feel like this entire situation we're even discussing right now leads me to believe that. Absolutely. Almost like it has to go that way, and that's why anything that could help the world isn't being found. You know what I mean? Like in a weird way. It's like you could take every program that is being suppressed and held down, you know? And that could be exactly why the world goes exactly that way. Because people aren't able to find it anymore. They're not able to find what they really need. And and what will make them feel better than they did when they tuned into it. I really don't know many things where you tune in, except for entertainment, where you tune in and you feel better when you leave. Like go to a concert, you listen to a concert, you feel better when you listen to the music. You see a comedy, you feel better when you leave that comedy. You go to a motivational speaker, you feel better when you leave that motivational speaker. So the intention of this show all around, all aspects of the show, is that you leave feeling better than you did when you came. That is basically another one of the things we discuss, and I wouldn't say it's a motto, but is definitely a huge aspect of this show. Is creating an atmosphere that allows you to feel better when you leave. And it's surprising to me, it really is surprising to me that it's so difficult to get to people. It is very surprising, because I feel like we have the content's there. It's there. People can find it, right? They just go and see it. It's there. It's weird. I get a lot of crap shifted to me from YouTube. Oh, here, check out this. I don't freaking want to. They don't shift anything from us in front of people. So, you put out a new piece of music. The whole Christmas album go look at how many views there have been on some of those songs. It's like, what? How do we have 7,000 subs and have so many people see the videos? Like, what are we talking about over here? On Facebook, if you go live every day for almost 1,100 days in a row and you see 3-4 views on a daily basis, it's because the show sucks, Mark. Oh, yeah, that's right. 3,000 friends. 3 of them are interested, right? Or perhaps they've never even been told it's on the air. I was telling a story. One of my best friends, Tim, grew up together, and he says, I sent him a message with one of the albums. It's like album 6 or 7 on the year. He goes, what? 6th, 7th album of the year? That's awesome, dude. That's cool. I'll take a listen. And I said, yeah. I said, I've been live every day since December 31st, right? On Facebook and on YouTube. I said, I know you're out in LA. I see you on the air. Have you seen any of the shows? He goes, what? Because you've been live every day since December. No, I've never seen you once. He goes, and I'm on Facebook, and I know he is. I see him all the time. He goes, I'm on Facebook every night. When you're on the air at 7:30 my time. He's like, so I'm live. I'm on my phone, 7:30 to midnight, 1 o'clock in West Coast. Not once in whatever amount of days it had been at that point, maybe 600, 700, 800 days, had he ever seen me live. Isn't that crazy? He's a friend. I see his posts. It's weird. Very weird. Today we put the Christmas movie on repeat over and over and over. It's a live Christmas comedy that doesn't have any swearing in it at all. The only thing is there's a Dr. Weaselfouch moment, but besides that, there's no swearing. It's a live comedy, and it's fun, right? They limited the reach of it. I came home to shut down the feed in order to get this show ready here, and I'm looking, and they limited my feed. And I'm like, this whole day, this thing's been running for 10 hours, and they limited anybody from finding it. They specifically limited it. This one, they told me about limiting it. They limited everything from the back end regardless, but telling me that, hey, this is content that's not appropriate for everybody. What? What's inappropriate about the Renaissance Man's Christmas movie? Somebody please enlighten me. I don't get it. That's what you don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. It's just a crazy world we're living in. It really is. Nothing makes sense. We're doing the Twilight Zone situation. We're doing the Twilight Zone. Which, by the way, I think I have to make my own Twilight Zone. I was just thinking about it today. I was talking with family members, and the Twilight Zone came up. I remember doing the Ron Seeger in the Twilight Zone. I'm going to watch a couple Twilight Zone episodes. A man walks down the street on the Twilight Zone. Because the thought is, if we can incorporate the Twilight Zone with December 25th, 2021,
Robert Stack, Unsolved Mysteries. Detroit, Michigan, 2021, December 25th. Mrs. Esterhaus. I used to do, well, I've got a bunch of those. I got a bunch of, oh, those get in trouble. Like if you put on a video of Unsolved Mysteries, Robert Stack situation, they pull you. Yeah. Well, they don't pull you, but they'll be like, we're going to take all the, they're like, they hit you with like this red thing. It's not a, it's not a strike, but it's a like bang, bang, boogie. That's not good. I'll tell you what, all right? When you're doing it, you got to do it, you know? So, guys, I will say that this has been probably the craziest journey in the history of time to go live for 1,090 days in a row. And, I mean, I'm coming back tomorrow, but I'm just saying, it's been crazy. This has been 3 years straight of content. We're pushing up on 1,800 pieces of content on YouTube. There is usually a mini movie every night. And right now, as you guys already know, you can order any of my albums. You can pick them up at any music store, or if you're into CDs like some of the family members are, you can pick up a CD of any of the 12 albums from the year on my website, markpires.com. 156 songs. The 3 movies from the year are available now on YouTube. I will be adding the 3rd movie to my website tonight. And when we do our feature film for BB Poo Poo at the end of the month, that's going to be something. Now, I do want to share a couple other things that I have thoughts on here. If a shift happens in some manner next year, I don't know yet, but if it does, a couple things I want you to be aware of and be excited about, hopefully. Everything that I did this year, it's basically like 30 or 40 comedies, right? Maybe 30 or 40 comedies. We made a feature film of Supermark versus Batmark, of Three's Company, of this latest thing, which is like a Christmas Story type of situation, and BB Poo Poo. Within all of that, and this we came to this last week already, Back to the Future Mark. I've got 9 episodes of Back to the Future Mark, okay? So that's going to be cleaned up into a movie. This is the big one. And this is only going to put me deeper into a hole. But I think it's necessary. I will be in 2022 dropping the Donald J. Trump movie, which will be all 35 episodes of the Trump show that I did as face swaps. And I have the perfect intro in mind. And outro, I guess. Yeah, I just thought of the outro too. And so we will get the DJT show next year. We're going to get Stuck on Mars. We're getting, obviously, BB Poo Poo at the end of this year. Spider-Mark is getting his own movie. Those will be weird movies because I'm sitting in this background and just doing a Spider-Mark situation, but it's more talking you through it. My thought is I basically been creating the scenes to full movies. If you think about it, Stuck on Mars, I created the scenes to a full movie. I only have to do an ending. We did everything but the ending. And I have to edit some of the stuff, like edit this first scene. The first scene I made, I'd cut it in half. I cut some stuff out to just clean that thing up so it's perfect. Supermark has a cameo. Stuck on Mars was a freaking hilarious set of scenes. Jacqueline Grace is one of her favorites. She's always, play Stuck on Mars. I haven't played it in so long, guys. That's going to get it. I mean, I have to get back to the Future Mark going. We've got so much stuff lined up here for 2022. So if you haven't yet, you're on TikTok, give me a follow. Head over to YouTube. Subscribe to the show. There's one more feature film. It's a crypto movie coming out. It's a comedy crypto. Coming out at the end of the month here. 5 more days. Man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And I can't wrap my mind around how I'm meant to create all this, but nobody's seeing it.
I just can't wrap my freaking mind around it. And you know what I mean. Guys, you know what I freaking mean. Like, I just can't wrap my mind around it, you know? Yes, JP. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that tricks that you sent over. I am basically, after this is over, I'm going to be editing BB Poo Poo, and I'm watching that. I tried to download it on my phone so I could send it to my computer so I could watch it on the screen. I hope I could do that. That'd be freaking awesome. Wait a minute. All I have to do is open up Telegram on my phone, right? I open it on the screen, and I'm going to try to do that. Maybe I won't have to send it. We'll see. But that was awesome. Batmark. Yeah, Batmark was crazy. Batmark was one of the craziest. When I love Batmark is because we do Michael Keaton's Batmark. It's Batmark, and we're doing that one. But the outfit of Batmark is like real. I got like the real Batmark outfit. That was crazy. A Batman outfit. I went into the store and the guy's like, he's like trying to sell me on that old school Batman, the one with like the gray and like the blue, you know, and it's the one that Adam West wore. He's like, this one, people love this one. It's so cool. And I'm like, like it just looks so fake, you know what I mean? So I was like, no, I can't do that. Do you have like, you know, like the Ben Affleck version, you know, with the, except for the head? Do you have a small head version? Because, you know, he's got that ridiculously massive head. And I said, do you have like a normal, like human being head and not like alien size meteorite, you know, coming from across the universe into our, you know, atmosphere, landing planet Earth? You know, hey, I'm going to just call myself Ben Affleck. Hello. I saw it. You know, when you had the 58,267 cameras to shoot his head for the one scene, you know, I mean, that was a big deal for Hollywood. They did well that month. But he says, yeah, I actually have this when we rent it, though. We rent this out. This is when we rent out to parties. And I'm like, well, what would it take for me to buy it? I said, how often? This is the way I started it. I said, when's the last time you rented this out? And he goes, geez, like three. He goes, 3 Halloweens ago. I said, 3 Halloweens ago? I said, nobody's been wearing this Batman out. I said, Batman outfit? I said, nobody's been wearing the Batman outfit? And he's like, I said, how much will you sell it for? And now keep in mind, the Batman outfits are about $80, okay? $79, I think it was. I could have gotten one. And so I say to him, and again, I'm doing this all as a hobby. I'm a real estate agent, but we knew we wanted to do a Batmark and Supermark movie. So I go in there, I get the Supermark outfit. He's got that, which we have now. And we're talking about the Batman outfit, and I said, what do you got on a price? Give me a price on that. He comes back, he says $300. Now he's telling me it's a $1,200 suit, which I don't know if it is or not, but he's like, oh, that's $1,200. We bought it for $1,200. And I said, look, I'm not paying $300 for a suit. I said, this is like a gag. I said, I don't know if I'm doing one bit or if this is going to be a recurring character. I have no idea. I'm not spending more than $100 on a Batmark outfit, you know, because I'm just not doing that, you know. And I kind of pitched the idea. I said, look, I'm going to do this, and if it goes really well, I'm going to keep doing it, and you can be like excited about the fact that this is being used. It's not sitting in some shelf collecting dust. You know, I use this thing. And so he got the owner over. We had a nice conversation, and before you know it, she sold it to me for $100. I was like, what? With tax. Okay, think about this. Tax on 80 would have been 6.35. We're talking about $85. I paid $15 more for a $1,200 Batmark suit. What? You kidding me? I was thinking about wearing it on Halloween, going out with my brother. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes you do it. Sometimes you can't. But it's Christmas, guys. I didn't want to stay on for too long. We're already here in an hour in. I was going to play you guys a Christmas song, but I don't even know. This has been just a super rant. It's just a super rant. Christmas is the time to reflect. You reflect on the things that are working and the things that aren't working. Now, the crazy thing is the content. The creation of the content is working. The connection to the world is not. That is the weird thing. We're offering peace, love, and happiness. But where the freak is the world? That's the question. The question is, if you decided to come out and you just pushed out a whole different message of hate and division, would you all of a sudden start to see tons of people tuning in? Yeah, unfortunately. Positivity takes a really long time to get to people. And sometimes they don't even realize how much they need it, how much they missed it. And it takes them some time. Where they want to rip it down before they even have a chance to check it out. I got to tear this down. It makes me feel different than I have lately. Oh, you mean like crap? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't do that here. We don't make people feel like crap. We lift people up out of the darkness into the light. I just happen to have been doing it for 1,090 days in a row. Never thought I'd be doing that. It's an insane amount of dedication. You know, it's like this all started because it was like, I've told you guys this story about at least my brother who's like, Vanguard, how are you, my friend? He's my brother who's like, you know, look, you can't go every day. No one wants to see you every day. And I've been intent on proving him wrong. Like, don't tell me what the world needs. But guys, honestly, and I hate saying this, but what if he's right? What if he's right? You know? Nobody wants to see you every day. You can't go every day. What if he's right? I mean, you can make a case that I'm way wrong. Because no matter what we put out, it's been the same response. So, you know, just questions. Questions. You got to figure it out. Gotta figure it out. Ah, D-Floss. So good to see you. I know, Red. Me too. I do, Red. I love the show exactly the way it is. I do. Thank you, JP. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, I would never. I don't want to change the format of the show. That's the thing that's most frustrating, is because it. In a perfect world, we would have hit, you know, to a point where people are here. I could speak to some sponsors, and I could say, look, this is taking away X amount of time from my real estate business. I'll say some commercials or whatever live on the air. Bang, biggity, boo. 1,090 days in a row, I haven't had a call from a company saying, hey, I want you to advertise my company on the air. You know, that's where this needs to go. Think about it. Every show you listen to has sponsors. So when I'm sponsored by Beat Seat. I invented the Beat Seat. Sponsored by Three's Company, the breakup artist. You know? And that's the difference is, you know, you can't be blind to the world you live in, you know? And I've been blind to it for 1,090 days in a row. I just continue to say, well, no, we can prove that the world is better than this. We can prove that people do care about connecting and finding the light as a mass. But again, I don't know how much of it is interest and how much of it is suppression. You know, I don't. You have to figure if you've been doing it, and people would know you're there. So I don't know. It's a lot of questions that are swirling around, you know. And I think it's a healthy thing. I said this a couple weeks ago when I was talking about this. It's a healthy thing to have these thoughts swinging around your head and determine where your next steps are. Because you go through your whole life and you have this stupid thought where you're like, well, I don't care if 10 people are watching me the rest of my life. Okay, well, are you living in a van down by the river, dude? Because you got to still sell real estate. The word "gotta" is a really, really powerful set of words there. You've got to. You can't do what you're doing just because you want to do it. It's not the world we live in. The world we live in is disturbed if they can't get on board with what we're doing here, but they've proven that they can't get on board with what we're doing here. At least the current world. The way it is going right now. There's something disconnected. And I don't know what the change is. Oh, Lisa, yeah, the Beat Seat is so much fun to play. I don't know what the change is. I don't know what gets it right. I don't know what gets people to say to themselves, I want to go back and see what's going on there. If it's a week between shows or some stupid thing like that, which is mental, but I can't control human condition. I mean, I'm the mental one who's like, I'll go every day so the world has a place to join. That should be a thing. That should really be a thing. I shouldn't be mental for thinking that. You know? But that's why it's like, the more I think about this specific detail and like the amount of content and then the no capture rate, the more I think about that, the more I settle in on the idea that this is either the Twilight Zone or it is the Truman Show. It has to be one of the two. This is not the real world. We have shifted into some sort of different dimension. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. There's no way that I live in a world where positivity is negativity and negativity is positivity. There's no way I live in a world where truth is lies and lies are the truth that aren't fact-checked. There's no way I live in a world where I was delivered by connecting to the moment. I think by being connected to another higher source, 156 songs and 3, 4, maybe 4 feature films in 1 year. And then for nothing to, for us to not have thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people seeing that content. There's billions of people on this planet, 7 point whatever billion people on this planet. I'm not saying millions even, guys. I'm saying thousands. There should be thousands of people seeing every single piece of content. Can't force it. I can't even get it to happen in 1,800 pieces of content. And like I said, I really want to know if there's something terrible or if there's anything that's not good. Shoot me comments, go back and watch stuff and be like, ugh, Mark, this was crap. Okay, thank you. Let me know. Because I keep moving forward. And I'll watch stuff and I'll remember it when I'm watching it. I'm laughing or I'm enjoying. But I'm not able to parse different segments. I'm living in the moment, so I'm not looking backwards. Oh, we wrote that song? All right, we'll play it. I'm not going to try to play it on the guitar again. I have no idea what I said the first time around. So, I think I agree with that, Red. I think this is a play. I think this entire thing is manufactured, and it's much bigger manufacturing process than we believe. We're manufactured. Everything is manufactured. And when they can do this, when they can shut down this much content from a world that really would probably connect to it, that is a red flag. Just like someone coming out and saying, oh, this is what we said today, and then tomorrow changes, and then after that, where you want you to go to another one, and you get in the line and get another one. When these things happen, it confirms for me that this is the Truman Show or Twilight Zone. One of the two. And when I say Truman Show, I jokingly said, I'm Truman. We're all Truman. Each and every one of us is a Truman in this world. Right now we're all into this whole NFT thing. We're freaking NFTs, guys. We are NFTs in some other person's world. And I am the Mark Pires Renaissance Man NFT in this Truman Show world. And we have our own t-shirts on my website, markpires.com. They've got t-shirts of me. Not my t-shirt. They got their own. Oh, I watch the show. It has to be. There's no freaking way in the world that's how many people watch me on a daily basis. 1,090 days in a row, I'm in the Truman Show. Whether bad or good, someone going live for 1,090 days in a row collects more people on a daily than that. Whether bad or good. Think about that. We're NFTs. I hadn't thought about that till just now, but I think that's true. I think we're most likely NFTs. And think about that. this is the craziest thing about the world we don't know about yet, the future that's to come, okay? In the future to come, they are so advanced that they can create this world right here that it's indecipherable from reality. I am a person in this world. You're a person in this world. Think about that. But controlled by an agenda. Same thing that we see here on planet Earth, but by an agenda above, by a, let's call it, creator. Truman Show. It's a film. Let's make this interesting. Guy goes live every day. Nobody gets the content. We don't let them see it. The friction based on quality and clean comedy and live songwriting and a negative world that's trying to suppress anything like that is so powerful that would be amazing to watch from the outside in. You know? Man, I can't figure this out. Another new song? Another feature film? Where the freak is everybody? Truman Show. Freaking Truman Show. Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't... I know we exist. The question is, when do we exist? I'm going to blow your mind with something real quick. I got I saw a video. Here's the story behind the video. There's an old lady. She's sitting in her TV room. She's watching TV. She's, let's call it 80. She's sitting, she's watching TV, flipping through the channels. And all of a sudden she hears a little noise and she turns to the right and she sees two men in her house. Like, how the hell, there's doors are locked, you know? So she looks and she makes eye contact with them and they've run out of the house. And she's like, uh-oh, my house is haunted. So she passes away a few years later, and it's a story that's passed down that this happened. And so the grandkids are now living in the house, or the kids are living in the house, and they had friends over. And so the friends are walking into the room, and they look to their left, and they see this old lady sitting in a recliner like she's watching TV, and she looks at them, and they freak out and run out of the house. Now, in that moment, were they haunted by her, or was she haunted by them? Is and has everything that's ever taken place taking place right now? Is there a chance sometimes when we see a specter or we see, a ghost, we're seeing either someone from the past or potentially from a future that has not come to be yet? When I saw that, I was like, what? So it's like, let's call it 10, 15 years before she sees these kids that one day are going to be in the house. And she's like, my house is haunted. One day those kids are walking into their room, they're seeing their friends, they turn, they see her, and they're like, oh my God, there's a ghost. And they run out. Oh my goodness, your house is haunted. Which one is it? Mind blown. When I saw that one, I was like, So, she's there at 80 years old. They're there 30 years later, and they're at the same timeline. It's all there. You could see through it in that moment. For some reason, you could peer through. So our timeline is not linear. We've known that, I think, for a while, but it absolutely is not linear. I do think that we are energy, so one way or another we go somewhere. Now, the question is, unless we're a simulation, which is what Elon Musk seems to believe, is that we're a simulation. And again, getting back to that, if this is a simulation, this is the most advanced gameplay in the history of time. You know how far into the future this is, that this has been created, that we are created, we're living in the year 2021, blah, blah, blah. This is happening. Renaissance Man Show doesn't get anybody to find it because it's whatever. It's a tension. Let's create that thing. Positive, good content, live songwriting. Can't let the world see it. Great idea. Let's sell tickets on the meta world situation. It's like we're pushing towards where it will go one day. You know what I mean? Like we're creating this like meta world. We're like in this fake world. We're like, oh, one day Zuckerchooch is out there saying you can change your clothes. You can do this. Yeah. Or maybe one day you could create characters that are actually living in this world, like SimCity situation. And they're trying to make careers and they're trying to, you think that'd be hard to design into a game? When I was a kid, I used to love the game Mad Dog McCree. Mad Dog McCree was this great game. You show up in like an arcade and it was like you have like a rifle and you're shooting at Mad Dog McCree. You're trying to get Mad Dog McCree. It was such a great game. Do you know why? Because they hired actors. The movie was actors. And so the guy came out and was like, hey there, lead belly. And he's like talking to the guy. He's like, oh, Mad Dog's in there. You don't go in there. Mad Dog's in there right now. And as you see Mad Dog coming out, he's got his gun. He's like, let's go there, Tiger. It's really a guy. I thought for sure, and maybe this is what we're talking about, but I thought for sure by the time it was today, 2021, what we would see is real people in movies acting out scenes. So you'd see gun movies, but it's real people. I'm surprised they never did that. But the reason they didn't do it is because they did it. In the future, they do it. But right now, they did Mortal Kombat, which gave us the idea. They actually shot videos of people in order to get all the original Mortal Kombat. Pit Fighter, same thing. Mad Dog McCree, I'm like, yep, they're starting to get memory. This is going to be a thing. Like, how much cooler would it be if you hired, I mean, I could get in touch with game designers. If you were in a game and it's a real human being in that game and everything they're seeing is just like the real world, and you think this is that far into the future? Come on. And they take out their gun, doing it, you know? And they're looking at a real gun when they pull it up. They're like, I mean, it's like you put those goggles, all of a sudden we could be literally under some sort of matrix situation where we can't see through it, but we're there. We're wearing glasses. We're in the glasses. We are the glasses. Can't wrap my head around anything else. It doesn't make sense. It's a crazy world. So, fam and friends, I do want to say, I don't intend to keep this extremely long because we're holograms. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think we're... Yeah, JP's right. That's exactly the reality. The soul never dies. It's just the flesh. Yeah, that's true. Trish said, never asked to live in interesting times. I think that's true, but here we are. You know what? Here's the thing that's interesting. They speak about in the Bible, like, you know, when they talk about the end times, they talk about, you know, the evils of the world dominating and people believing the evils of the world. And they also talk about how people that should be living the faith start doing really, really evil things, like coming together, different faiths coming together and creating new like churches in the middle of Jerusalem, like with 3 faiths in one, you know, like that's not blasphemy. I don't know what else is. So yeah, we're at the end of it all. Here's the thing that scares me a little bit. If the man that we all are waiting for comes, right? And he is just a man. Just like he was the first time. And he's out here trying to do the work necessary in order to change the world. And he's doing literally everything possible in order to just get the message out to people. How will it ever get to people in the world we live in today if my message can't even get to people? It's similar, and no one ever gets it. So, unless it's this supernatural thing coming from the sky shooting laser beams at people, and that's, you know, unless it's that, which I don't know if it is, I don't know. But if it's just like it was last time, we're born into this world and has to save this world or try again, just like last time, which I think would actually be more of a realistic scenario than coming back from the clouds and shooting laser beams at people. It's going to be one of us. if you can never get the message. And then you better hope that it's fire and brimstone from the sky. Because if he is here right now doing it, and the world can never find it, then who knows what's next? The crazy thing is, the amount of people I see out there that have a positive message and aren't being heard is like, it's insane, you know? So that's my fear. Coming back as a man next time, just like the first time, which would make sense. But I've also believed he's been here 1,000 times, 2,000 times since, maybe let's call it 30 or 40 times since he was here the first time. He comes back as different people. We joke about the Back to the Future Mark thing here, but I feel like in every generation, he's here in somebody or some people in order to get people to stay online, stay in track. That's maybe some people of the faith of the cloth consider that to be them. You know, look, we're here to keep people in line and let them know what's going on. And I believe that some of the more powerful connectors to the faith are the ones who aren't wearing, the cloth, so to speak. They don't have any connection to some sort of agenda. They speak the truth of the universe, if you can hear it. So, this has been one heck of a Renaissance man, huh? Yeah, Red's right. It's like it's one of those weird things. You grow up with this hope in your heart that there's enough good in the world to dominate and defeat the evil. But when you start paying attention to the evil, it's scary how overwhelming it is. And the reality is, if we don't have the man by our side when it all goes down, that is going to be a bad day for many. I don't know, specifically what people have to say and do in order to be that, to be able to be connected to whatever's coming back. I truly believe it means expression, it means connecting, and it means doing for others. Those are very important details in life. And if you focus on doing for others, you focus on lifting people up, then you share a smile with people, you're putting yourself in the best position possible to attain enlightenment. That's it. That's my rant. I'm sticking to it. That's my rant for the night. When you say that it is what it is, that's a bad thing to say. The more realistic term is life is currently the way it is, but you have to determine yourself to find another way around it. So, I am determined to never, allow that negativity to get the best of me. I come out here, though, and I am one thing that I've always been, which is honest and just speak my mind. The issue with not having a script is that you say things that could be a little bit, edgy. And if you're someone who's afraid of someone being against what you're saying, or afraid of someone who's a little edgy and maybe somebody who's going to be off the cuff, then you could get a lot of why things happen the way they happen. But I also, a lot of the reasons why things are the way they are is because there is no script. We do it. Famine friends. So, tomorrow, day 1091 in a row. We march towards the final day of the year. Final day of year 3 of Renaissance Man. As we start year 4 and we drive towards, I guess the math is something like 1,355 60 days. 1,360 days will be the end of year 4 if we continue going every day. Which I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I don't. In some weird world wants me to just stop for a week and just see if anybody cares. You've been alive for so long. Does anybody even freaking care that you stopped? You know? That would be an interesting week. Like checking messages to see what people, if anybody's even sending messages. Wait, was there a guy who was live? Like, I think he was doing like a few days in a row. Is he still around? No, he took a break. He decided to take it down a level. You know, it's also Saturday Night Live here. I freaking forgot about that. I'm going to play something here. I want to try to... It is Christmas Day here. I'm going to play you guys a Christmas tune that I wrote. Let me see if this is the one I want to play. Yeah. This is the first song on the album, Christmas album. You can pick one up at markpires.com. And if you don't...
I'm going to share with you...
She's going to share with you what she was going to say when she would have possibly won the presidential election in 2016. Hillary Rodham Clinton. She's doing it. So let's see about this one. This is called Christmas Day. It is Christmas Day, fam and friends. So let's get this going here. Wintertime comes round and I can't stop thinking about Christmas time. Hot cocoa with marshmallows on top. Got my pajamas by the fireplace. I'm hoping for that new toy that I circled in a book, and I gave it to my parents, and I hope to come true. Yeah. It's Christmas Eve tonight. I'm gonna close my eyes, so keep my ears open. I'm hoping to hear the reindeers in the sleigh flying overhead. It's a hum and a sleep. It's a Christmas Day. Fast as I can go. Christmas Day, morning come, and the first one to run down to the tree, turn the lights on, and I'm a TV, but yours and mine. It's a Christmas Day, fast as I can go. It's Christmas Day. I got everything I wanted. Ooh, yeah, it's Christmas time. Open up your presents and get your smile on. Yeah, you can shut off the world for a day. Oh, it's Christmas Day. Yeah, yeah. It's Christmas Day. every slow get go fast as I can go. Yeah, it's a Christmas day. Fast as I can go. It's Christmas day. Grab the sleigh, going 90 miles. Christmas day. I got to go get to my Christmas day. Christmas day. Christmas day.
I love.
Ooh, fam and friends. Christmas Day. What a day Christmas Day is. For the kids, for the kiddos. I think my favorite part of the movie was the final little send-off. There's like a poem at the end that I improvised in the moment about the world and everything else, and it came out pretty solid, you know? It was pretty solid. Let me see something here. It came out pretty solid. It was pretty funny. Hope you guys enjoyed the movie. Now we're three in. We're on our way to number 4. I got to get it going, though. Like, we are way off on timing here. I got 5 days left. I'm here playing clips. 12:30 in the morning. Come on, Mark. You want to get it done? You better get it done. You know what I mean? Ah, fam. If you can, and if you are interested, head over to the page and check out some of the Christmas songs. You could also go to Spotify and listen to all 165 songs, including the Christmas album, which is fully available on every platform, as well as on my website. You can get all 12 albums right now. My plan is to put out the instrumental album as well as the 13th album. I'm running out of time, and I'm like, in a weird way, I'm like, look, 156 is a lot of songs. It's a lot of songs to put out, dude. And it's not like you've got so many people like, hey, I gotta go get the next Mark Pires album, you know what I mean? What am I doing? You know, most people put out an album a year. I put out 12 this year. And I have been thinking about putting out the 13th still this month, 2 this month, so it's just kind of crazy. I don't know why I'm so nuts. Still thinking people give a crap. I know you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. But that's just, it would have been something if I'm creating album after album after album and there's millions of people listening to it like, wow, great, I got a new one coming. You know, that would have been something. It's Truman Show stuff, right? I think Truman Show. It's got to be Truman Show. Yeah, the Facce, Dr. Weasel Fauci bit was one of the best. That was one of the best. I know, Red. I totally have to get that done. I'm gonna get that movie finished up for you guys so we can have one more feature film to finish this year off as crazy as it could ever be. You know, the other thing I'm like kind of surprised at is we've been here for this many days. We've created how much, and no newspaper articles. Like, nobody's talking about a show live for 1,090 days. Nobody's talking about live songwriting. Nobody's talking about live comedy. Like, doesn't anybody know any bloggers or anything? Like, we don't have anybody talking about the show. It's crazy. No news, no bloggers, no. It's just this small group of people saying, guys, what do you do? I gotta find bloggers and get people to just maybe pop in and just give it a look. The issue is this. They don't want to hear from the guy. They don't want to hear from the girl. No matter what you say, you're crap. In the eyes of another person who's critiquing. And they're like, oh, I'm a blogger. Oh, you want me to check out your show? It doesn't work that way. I need a freaking manager or something. Someone who's like, it's Tom Schmidt. And they get the guy on the line and they're like, look, we're doing a show. We're setting it up. You know, But that doesn't happen when you don't have the news talking about it, when you don't have it. So there's so much that's missed in 1,090 days in a row. I'm just the only thing that keeps showing up, you know? And for a reason that I believe is noble. The world is dying. I'm trying to stop it from happening. I joked. I said that Zabrowski had the angels coming down from heaven, and they were coming to wrath, dropping the wrath, right? They heard Zabrowski woohoo, stopped in their tracks. Let's give them a little more time. I think they got it. Zabrowski. You got a Zabrowski situation and you got a woohoo, the angels. What is that noise? It sounds like one of us singing. Matt Zabrowski. Grammy. When you do it and the angels stop to hear your beautiful woohoo, you get more time for the human race, you know? That's just what happens. Oh, Cody, I'd love it. Yeah, I think that's what I really just need somebody who's like amped about the show and somebody who's like, look, I'm going to connect the show to people. It's so funny. I met Cody on the Zoom, and I was like, man, I love this guy. I love all of you guys. I haven't met any of you, but I love you all. And Cody, I was like, he's just got such a great personality and a vibe. And I've always said, it's a weird thing, but I've always joked with people. I was like, look, one day someone's going to come along who's like, I know how to connect this show to where it needs to go, which I think is on the negatube against all the other crap. And somebody who's like, I know how to work pieces. I know this guy, I know that. I'm going to put it, and that person is going to be very wealthy because we've created the content. We just need to find the eyes and find the market. And from that point on, you know, this is a show that's always been about the world. I want everybody to do well. So like if someone's interested in putting the time in and the work, you know, they're going to be rewarded whenever this thing goes where it's going. You know, at the end of the day, whatever I do next, it's not quitting the show. It's never quitting the show. It's adapting to the world we live in order to blow the freaking sky out. That's still happening. I just don't know how it's not happening the way I've been doing it, you know? We love the show the way it is. The question is, do we have to change it or not? Realistically, it's what Cody just said. It's a matter of somebody taking the reins and just being like, I'm doing this because I know Mark's a good guy and he's going to take care of me if I set it up. Freak yeah, are you kidding me? I've been sitting here for 1,090 days and waiting for somebody to just realize they just have to show the initiative and get it done. Go get it to line it up. I'll show up anywhere with my guitar and I'll perform for anybody in order for us to get whatever you line up to work. I sat in front of Alicia Keys' manager, or the guy who was working with Alicia Keys, and he wanted to sign me to a deal. I met her's manager because of that. Her stage manager was working with Alicia Keys' guy for this period of time. I went in there. We all of a sudden worked with them for 6 months. They were trying to sign me to some deal. I walked away because I didn't like how it was going. It wasn't her actual people. They played in her band, then they wanted to start their own thing. Anyway, Dave, my brother, he and I always hit it off. He was like bodyguarding for them at the time, I think. Like he's like a security guy. Then he bumped up. He's in the music industry. He's going from place to place. He's the connect. I find out Dave's the connect. Dave, 10 years later, after I walked away from them, 10 years later, he and I are still friends on social media. He sees the beat seat. He's like now working for her as her stage manager. He's like, they needed a cajon for this Vivo video with her. And he's like, you know, they're like, well, yeah, you can't use a drum kit. You need a cajon. He's like, I got one better. He's like, I got this one, you know, an artist that I was working with years ago invented this thing. Let me see if he can lend us one for the shoot. I lent him one. And then afterwards, Carrington, who's one of our artists, he's hers drummer. And he goes, the way Dave said it, he goes, Carrington asked, what does he have to do to get one? I was like, what? He goes, yeah, he loves it. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? He's like, yeah. And so if you guys look on BeatSeat, the YouTube page, there's a demo, like a little 30, 45 second clip of Carrington, and he's talking about the BeatSeat. He's like, the low register of the BeatSeat, the rhythm section of the BeatSeat is so deep, it allows you to create a full, you know, he's like, he talks about subwoofer sounds. He's like, anytime I play this thing with her, with Dej Loaf, with Taj, whatever. He said a bunch of names. Tiana Taylor. He's like, whenever I play this with them, he's like, I'm going to have the beat seat. Beat seat's the only thing. It's the only game. I was like, whoa. And that was amazing for me to have Carrington say those words about the beat seat. So Carrington's one of our beat seat artists. Then, after the Vivo shoot, I get a call from Dave. He goes, you know, Her's been talking about the beat seat. I said, what? He goes, yeah. I said, Her's been talking about it? So then he calls, he goes, look, Her wants to know if she can order a beat seat. Can you build her a beat seat? This is pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic. And so I said, Dave, I'm on it. So I built a beat seat for her. Her's got her own beat seat. I hand built a drum that Her has. How about that? That's kind of cool. And you can see it on beatseat.rocks if you check that out. So awesome, brother. Oh, my brother. Yeah, that's really, you know, it's funny. Exposure is just that's the proper word. Just exposure. If people can see what we're doing and we can keep the show the way it is. It's funny. When I started doing this 2 hours a day thing, I thought to myself, well, people watch Joe Rogan every day, or is it as often as Joe Rogan puts out a show, hundreds of thousands of people want to watch his 3-hour show. And like, there shouldn't be any reason why that shouldn't transfer between some audience. There's some audience out there that would be up for a 2-hour show every day of positivity, live songwriting, and comedy. And that they can watch with their kids, that they can watch with their parents and without feeling awkward. Like, that is, I think, you know, Cody reminded me of something when he was kind enough to share what the show means to he and his family. Is this show in 2022 going forward will be the family connection necessary to bring this world back. And I'm not trying to sound cocky or narcissistic. We just happen to be extremely positive here. We do things that are in the moment. We're creating clean comedy without swearing and really, really passionate music. These are really good things to come together, and that multi-generational, you have something you can connect on. Hey, did you hear that song from the Renaissance Man show last night? How powerful was that? We could be the change. How powerful was that? Nothing can stop the light. Wasn't that a powerful song last night? Hey, Dad, remember when that one line that came out? Wow, I can't believe that came out of the moment. Grandpop's in the room. Oh my goodness. You know what I loved was that moment when we're talking about finding the greatness within. That was my favorite moment of the show. Oh yeah, Grandpa, remember? That's where this is going. And you know what? I can't think of any other show out there right now that is doing that. It used to be like Cosby Show, you know, Friends or whatever. No, Friends isn't even it. Cosby Show. This is the, without the weird, touchy, you know, pill people thing. You know, this is bringing families back together. That's the concept of this show. Without intending, I mean, I am intending, but without pushing on that, that's where we are every single day. And when it was Sharon Alvarado who was on the show with me, and she's telling me that her son, who usually hates everything that she streams, said, Mom, this is really cool. She goes, that was amazing. I said, Sharon, the perfect Renaissance Man family is when the entire family is on watching the Renaissance Man family. Then we are the world connected. Full families connecting. Like they can't in a normal world. I mean, everybody takes their devices and they go into different rooms. One of them's doing this, one of them doing that. There's just nothing cohesive for everybody to grab onto. But a silly sophomore piece of comedy the kids are gonna love. Adults should be able to love, to break away from the seriousness of life, which is very, very serious. And then who doesn't need a moment of positivity and inspiration? I have to thank Furman Vidal, my real estate friend. He's a realtor as well. And one day I posted one of my pieces of, at the beginning, this was all inspiration every day. Like what I did tonight was the show for the first 360 days. That's all I did was talk, inspire people to find greatness. Furman Vidal one day says, Mark inspires. And he spelled it INS and then a capital P. And I was like, holy freaking cow. My last name is the tail end of inspires. And I never thought about that until he said it. And I'm usually the guy coming up with names, right? Nancy Pelosi and President G-Hole. And when he said that, I was like, oh my goodness, Furman, I will always give you credit for that. And thank you for pointing that out. Like, I don't know why I never thought of that. I've used it a few times, but it's just very, very interesting that my last name actually fits right into there. And my show is about inspiring people. Man, do I love doing this, guys. I hope we could figure out how to connect to the exposure, because the content is ready to be seen. It's there. I was having a conversation with someone earlier. I was like, my brother-in-law, and I said, I can't comprehend. I live in a world where if I speak the narrative, the agenda, they'll throw people at you. But if you're out there and you're just saying things like, I just want to know what this means, and I'm a little concerned about that. I heard this, and I just like to find out more, because what I always heard was the standard, and then that's considered, like a lie or propaganda to be skeptical, and like this is, odd Truman Show type of stuff. You know what I mean? Doing it. But if you are interested in the straight up inspirational stuff, if you liked this type of broadcast where I'm just ranting all night, you should definitely check out the shows from, I guess, the first year. Those ones will really take you on a ride. Oh, fam and friends. So if you're here, say goodnight or forever hold your peace. D-Fluss. Lisa May, you rock. Red Storm, you are awesome. I'm going to just take a gander, and Cody, my brother, and Trish. And I'm going to throw a couple of names, hoping that they're still here. JP. And I'm looking through it. Big goodbye, Borbird. Raven in the house. Margaret Jones in the house. And I'm looking. Trish Killian. And Red Skies at Night. Merry Christmas, Red Skies. So good to see you. Oh, my goodness. Guys, tomorrow I will see you again. My intention is to try to get on earlier and earlier. And again, we'll talk this out. We have 6 more days here before the next feature film. We'll figure out where the heck we go. Look, we may get lucky and Cody makes some magic happen. You never know. But I think we've been trying to make some magic happen here for a very long time. For 1,090 days in a row. And just to get back, remember, there's going to be like, if we are to continue the way, just as the perfect world situation, okay? Show continues exactly the same way as it is, but instead of, and I'm not even looking at like expecting to do something ridiculous. It's like, I need to be able to just make money for this in some manner, because that helps the cause of being here. Like if you come out and you put all this out and you're not making a penny for any of it, it's just stupidity. And that's the eyes of somebody who needs to make a living for a family. And it's the crazier thing is that if you can't make money for good content, there's just something wrong with the connection to the content, obviously, clearly. And it's going to require outside, brain power. Because I obviously don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that. I don't. I know how to create things. It's like sometimes my wife will ask me to do some things I just don't understand. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. You asked me to write you a song? Yeah, I'm all over it. But I don't know how to change the catalytic converter on a 57 Chevy. Like, what are you talking about over here? But she expects that I should be able to do that. No, I'm kidding. You know what I mean? Like someone expects that or you have access to some sort of talent to do something that a lot of people can do. And you're like, I don't know how to do that. You're like, what's that? And wait, you're creating a live comedy? Yeah, I can't do everything. I'm doing a live comedy, editing it, making it for you. You want me to also catalytic converter it? That one's a bit much. Oh, I'm going to go on Google. Catalytic converter 57. I get it. Like you want to have that knowledge for cocktail parties. You're there. Oh, what's the correct ignition timing on a 57 Chevy catalytic converter? Marissa Tomei comes out of nowhere. Yeah. You didn't know about it? Oh yeah. No,
It's a Joe Pesci situation. My cousin Vinny, they're coming out there, they're looking at it, and they're like, look, you know what? This had positive traction. And when you have positive traction, it couldn't have been that 63 Mercury, you know, in the topaz blue. They just happened to make the same one in a 57 Chevy. Catalytic converter was at 6 degrees from dead top center. By Menon. You know, when you remember the dialogue to My Cousin Vinny, the two Utes. You said what? I said the two Utes. I said the two freaking Utes. If you don't have a couple of Utes when you're out there, you know. Oh, you got a couple of Utes with you. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant youths. You got the youths?
I'm sorry, you said youth.
I beg your pardon, what?
Well, you said what?
No, you said, I'm sorry, what did you say?
The two youths.
I can't do a pesh, I guess. That's what I'm not able to do, I guess. I realize. Yeah. Sometimes when you're doing a pesh and it's not a pesh, pesche also means fish. And a fishy. Deal with it. So, fam and friends, you got to go away. It's Christmas. It was Christmas. We're now beyond. I do want to say Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And remember that the love that we share with this world can make a difference. But if we're not willing to share it with others, we will be a part of our own demise. Forget about the world's demise. If the intention is to try to be in the best possible position to elevate when the time comes, you gotta be a Renaissance man. You gotta want to see change. You gotta want to bring change. A Renaissance woman. Go out there and speak words of positivity that can affect real change in the world. Perhaps if we do enough of it together, we'll get through to some people. So, until tomorrow, fam and friends. D-Fluss, Margaret Jones, Red Skies at Night, awesome seeing you, and Red Storm. If you're here, say goodnight now or forever hold your peace. And until tomorrow, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance, man. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow. You got to go away. Till tomorrow, fam. Have a great night. Merry Christmas.